Some excuses, yeah, I heard some excuses. He said just that it's not his weight classes, and then he said that he didn't get a good training camp, and then he said that he was a problem with the arm.
So 168 will leave no doubt.
Yeah, it will be great. 168, it's no excuses.
Would you? What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated WBA light heavyweight world champion Russian superstar boxer Dmitry Bivol, who has 21 wins, no losses, no draw, 11 wins by way of knockout, 32 years of age, 6 feet tall with a 72-inch arm reach. He calls out 4-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, who currently is the undisputed super middleweight world champion in Saul Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is considered to be the face of the sport of boxing with 58 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He is 32 years of age, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. With that said, Canelo and Dmitry Bivol, they did business already. They fought May of 2022. And Dmitry Bivol, he outclassed Canelo Alvarez, winning a unanimous decision victory over Dmitry Bivol, okay? And Canelo Alvarez, as Dmitry Bivol put it, he had a lot of excuses, okay, as to why he lost the fight. And so Dmitry Bivol, as you can see, they went on from that point in time. Canelo Alvarez, he fought a trilogy with his longtime rival in Gennady Triple G Golovkin. That was September 22. He won a unanimous decision. Now he's going to fight John Ryder May 6th, Cinco de Mayo weekend of this year, okay? Dmitry Bivol, on the other hand, he went on to fight Gilberto Zordo Ramirez, okay? Again, another big name Mexican fighter who's undefeated, November 2022, and he outclassed him as well, winning a unanimous decision. Now, Dmitry Bivol, he's looking to face off against Artur Beterbiev in a unification bout, right? Against Artur Beterbiev. Artur Beterbiev is it won't be a unification bout. It'll actually be an undisputed bout. Artur Beterbiev is 19 wins, no losses, no draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. He is 38 years of age, 5'11.5" with a 73-inch arm reach. So Dmitry Bivol, he's actually looking to face off against Artur Beterbiev in the next fight for undisputed at 175. That's the weight class he wants to be undisputed at. But as you heard Dmitry Bivol in the latest interview, he stated that if he does fight Canelo Alvarez in the rematch, which Canelo Alvarez is going to fight John Ryder Cinco de Mayo weekend, May 6th, he wants to come back Mexican Independence Day weekend, which is going to be the second week in September. And he says that he wants to face off against Dmitry Bivol in a rematch because he suffered injuries, which was a shoulder injury, hand injury, knee injury. He said he wasn't the same fighter. And going into the fight with Dmitry Bivol, he hurt his right hand in the fight, well, his left hand in the fight prior to the fight. So he says that he wants to fight in a rematch with Dmitry Bivol, which would see Canelo Alvarez full strength. He wants to fight him at full strength. And so Dmitry Bivol, he feels like Canelo Alvarez is making up tons and tons of excuses as to why he lost. He definitely got outclassed in the fight, but Canelo Alvarez is stating that he's not 100% of himself. And so in the rematch, if they do have the rematch, Dmitry Bivol is stating that he wants the rematch to be at 168 pounds at the super middleweight limit, and for Canelo Alvarez undisputed titles, so that he removes absolutely all the excuses. So there's no excuses for Canelo Alvarez. He stated that, Canelo Alvarez used the size, the height, things of that nature as an excuse as to why he lost the fight. So he wants to remove all doubt, all excuses. And he says if the rematch does happen with Canelo Alvarez in September, then he wants the fight to take place at 168 pounds, or he wants to fight Artur Beterbiev. Now, Artur Beterbiev, he has mandatories that he has to settle. He just settled one of his mandatories, which was against Anthony Yard, British light heavyweight star contender, who he knocked out in the 8th round of that fight. And so Dmitry Bivol wants to fight with Artur Beterbiev, but Artur Beterbiev still has other mandatories that he has to satisfy. And he's not getting any younger. He's 38 years of age. So that fight needs to happen as soon as possible. Now, Dmitry Bivol, he's with Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, and DAZN. And Artur Beterbiev is with top-ranked legendary promoter CEO Bob Arum and ESPN. So that's a hurdle that has to be removed for that fight to come to fruition. But it only makes sense seeing as though Artur Beterbiev is the unified champion. He has the IBF title, the WBC title, and the WBO title. Dmitry Bivol has the WBA title. So it's only right that they fight for undisputed. It's only one fight removed from there being an undisputed light heavyweight world champion. And so he wants to make that fight happen, and he wants to be a two-division undisputed champion. So in order for him to do that, he's going to do the opposite. Normally, fighters go up in weight, but Dmitry Bivol, he plans on moving down in weight. He wants to go down to 168. So he wants to actually fight Artur Beterbiev in his next fight, beat Artur Beterbiev, which would be a huge fight. They're both Russian athletes. Artur Beterbiev, he represents Canada as well as Russia. He actually represents, Canada more than he does with Russia because of the unfortunate chain of events that's taken place with Russia and Ukraine. So he doesn't really want to shine any light on the situation with Russia. So he identifies as a Canadian fighter. It would be definitely a big fight for both guys. They're both undefeated, and it would be for undisputed. So it makes sense to make that fight come to fruition. But then the flip side of that, it would be a huge fight for Dmitry Bivol to go down. Should he beat Artur Beterbiev at 175 and then go down to 168 and beat Canelo Alvarez at 168, it removes all doubt. As I told people, Canelo Alvarez had a built-in excuse using the size, but it's really not a factor because he won the title at 175 when he beat Sergey Kovalev at 175 for the WBO title. So he's already a world champion in that division. So there's no way he could use the size as a reasoning for him not winning that fight because he won the fight at 175 already. And Sergey Kovalev is bigger than Dmitry Bivol, so he fought just a better guy. And Dmitry Bivol's size wasn't the factor; it was his skill set. He just outclassed Canelo Alvarez with his skill set, and there was a lot of excuses made, like Dmitry Bivol stated. There was a lot of excuses made on the part of Canelo Alvarez, seeing as though he said his hand was injured. But now, if you look at, there's footage now. You can see Canelo Alvarez in the dressing room before he comes out for the fight, that he is actually grimacing, and that his hand is actually injured before, and he did have surgery on his hand immediately following after. So I don't know how much of that was a factor in him losing the fight, more so than the skill set of Dmitry Bivol. But if he was in pain and he couldn't use the hand, then it's only right that he gets a rematch at full strength. But Canelo Alvarez, he's adamant at fighting and beating Dmitry Bivol at 175. He doesn't want to take the fight at 168. He wants the fight to be at 175. And he stated that, he wants to beat Dmitry Bivol at his best. So Canelo Alvarez, he don't want Dmitry Bivol to have any excuses to say that he was weight drained and coming down in weight, and that's why he lost to Canelo Alvarez. But in the same token, Dmitry Bivol wants to get his full credit and full respect for beating Canelo Alvarez, and he wants to do it at Canelo Alvarez weight. So as you heard, Dmitry Bivol, he stated that, there's a lot of excuses, and he's adamant about pushing for the fight to actually take place at 168 if it is to happen. And now, Canelo Alvarez is still the face of the sport of boxing, seeing as though he did 1 million pay-per-views over 3 times in his career. He's a massive draw. This fight with John Ryder, Cinco de Mayo weekend, May 6th, is going to be in Mexico City, a homecoming fight for Canelo Alvarez in Mexico. So he definitely is the bigger draw. But as far as who's going to have the edge in the negotiations, Dmitry Bivol is going to have the edge. I mean, he beat Canelo Alvarez already. But if he beats Artur Beterbiev, that gives him a massive edge. Seeing though he beat Zurdo Ramirez at 175 as well, he dominated Zurdo. If he dominates Canelo Alvarez, then dominates Zurdo Ramirez, then dominates Artur Beterbiev for undisputed, well, then he definitely have a place at the table to make demands should he come down in weight. So I expect this fight to happen at 175. Canelo Alvarez is the face. He's going to push for it to be at 175. Dmitry Bivol, he may not accept it, but the money that's going to be offered to him is going to be extremely hard for him to turn down. So I think they're going to take the fight at 175. I think you'll see Dmitry Bivol and Canelo Alvarez at 175 in September. So we got to see how that plays out and unfolds. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Do you want to see the fight take place at 175, or do you want to see this fight take place at 168 for Canelo Alvarez undisputed titles at 168, Or would you rather see Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol? They fight first for Undisputed. So let me know what y'all think. That's all I got for y'all, man. Peace.
Some excuses, yeah, I heard some excuses. He said just that it's not his weight classes, and then he said that he didn't get a good training camp, and then he said that he was a problem with the arm.
So 168 will leave no doubt.
Yeah, it will be great. 168, it's no excuses.
Would you? Bumgarner, you're watching Blue Blood Sport TV. Wow.